Hey, all Brian here. So I've been going through some stuff lately. I'm just going to ramble for a while. If you're not interested, just log off. Anyway, I haven't been doing much writing. I got too much going on up here. For one thing, last several weeks, 3 deaths. Well, no, 2 deaths and one almost. One death was my stepfather's oldest son. He died. He lives in California. Um, my stepfather passed away several years ago. I love the guy. He was great. His oldest son, I didn't really care for too much, but still, that's just another piece of him that is no longer around, and so I've been dealing with that. And one of our neighbors passed away. Been here forever. Good people. I personally really enjoyed them. But the hardest one of all, those two just came on top of this other one. The hardest one of all is the neighbor just down the road. He he's pushing 80. He was in Vietnam. He got Agent Orange. He was exposed to Agent Orange. Lungs, torn up. 5 years ago, they said he didn't have long to live, and he still chugged on. He's the nicest guy you could ever know. He was a cousin to my stepfather, and I interacted with them quite a bit. And they're just wonderful, beautiful people. And his wife is still around, and they're well, anyway, leading up to it, he was getting weaker and weaker. Okay, and he started to fall, but he had dementia. So, and he was still living at the house, which is fine. They're out in the middle of nowhere, and he never went anywhere, so it wasn't really a problem. But he wouldn't remember to use a walker, and so he fell, broke his collarbone. But apparently his wife didn't realize that, and for some reason he didn't notice. And then he fell again later that day and broke his hip. Well, they took him to the they rushed him to the hospital, and apparently his shoulder was like this, and he wasn't in a lot of pain. Maybe the dementia, maybe his failing system, I don't know. But see, his heart, he's got a pacemaker, and his heart, and he's had several surgeries on his heart to open valves, and apparently he's only got like 5% of his heart working. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I heard. And they said, sorry, we can't do anything for him. He says, what do you mean you can't do anything for him? He's got a broken hip. He's got a broken collarbone. Yes, we understand that. But to do anything for that, we would have to put him under anesthesia. We'd have to knock him out and do surgery to, put pins in, things like that. We can't do it without anesthesia. It would kill him. And with his heart so weak, even with the pacemaker, if we put him under anesthesia, he'll die. So right now he's laying in. He's on hospice. 2 days ago, he was non-responsive. He stopped eating. Well, apparently he became responsive again, and they've been feeding him a little bit, but he hasn't been wanting to eat. He hasn't. We had one of his family members, his nephew, came and visited me, and he talked about how he had gone squirrel hunting that morning to him, about how he had bagged 3 or 4 squirrels, and that his mama was happy with him for getting the squirrels, and his nephew's just there going, yeah, that was good. You got the squirrels, There's no point arguing with him because he was reliving his childhood, and all of his family's around, and it's really, sometimes having it drawn out is worse than if he just goes. Is he going today? Is he going tomorrow? Could he last another year? We don't know. Hospice said he shouldn't be alive today, but yet he still is. And 5 years ago, they said he didn't have long to live, and it was 5 years. And he's just out of it, and his wife is really in bad straits. I'm doing what I can for him. I'm just around the corner, so if they need me, I'm here for him. But their family's there now. So all this is weighing on me, and it's really sad. Sometimes it gets the better of me, and everything's hitting me wrong. Everything that people say to me, I'm just getting irritated at. I guess I've just been on an emotional roller coaster for too long. Anyway, I just want to let you guys know that I am still writing. But when you write, you're in a quiet room by yourself with your own thoughts. And sometimes some thoughts just will intrude, and then it's over. And that's what I've been dealing with for the last several weeks. So I'm still working on it. I'll get to chapters again when I can. I'll get to telling stories again when I can. And yeah, but that's life, right? I'm pushing 60. I'll be 60 in a couple years. And when you get to be my age, people who you thought would be around forever are no longer there. My mom moved here with her husband 35 years ago. When they were having trouble about 5 years ago, me and my son came here and moved in to help out. And we've just been here ever since. He passed away, and now I'm here with my mom, who's in her 80s. And we'll be here, and we'll be here until she can no longer, until she's no longer here. I'm sure she'll die here like her husband did. She loves this house, and I can't take her from it. I can't put her in a home, so I am here to take care of it, and that weighs on my mind too, because I see her little by little deteriorating. She plays piano for, she's a lifelong Christian, excuse me, and she plays the piano. Well, instead of going to church, we have a little church in our living room. She plays the piano. I'll read a chapter from, and we'll sing one song, 2 songs during Christmas because the carols are shorter. And then, and like for church, she'll start playing, and I'll hold out a little bit before I go back there, so she has time to run through it a couple times. Only time she plays is for church. She should play more, but she doesn't. And playing the piano is getting harder for her. Doing things is getting harder for her, but she's not stopping. She won't stop, because she knows if she stops, she'll never get going. But I see little things here, little things there that are changing, and that's hard to see, right? But you live a life as long as I have, and really I haven't lived long, but I'm getting to the point to where the generation ahead of me is starting to disappear. She's the last one. My dad passed away almost like 10 years ago. All my grandparents are gone, and her husband died, and now there's just her for my family, that generation. Well, her brother's alive too, I should say, but he and I never really interacted. He lives in Canada, and so yeah. But I keep going. I keep trying to find joy every day, and I do. I got a garden out there. My yellow squash and butternut and zucchini are really taking off. They're really quite beautiful right now, and we're getting lots of blooms. So hopefully there's some. But butternuts are her favorite, and so I really wanted to make sure she gets a lot of butternut, because she just loves butternut. So I've been working. She's got like 16 butternut plants out there. I have a black thumb. Most things die on me. I have no idea what I'm doing. So if she gets 4 or 5 a year, she's happy. And I'm happy that she's happy. But yeah, I guess time and age is kind of weighing on me. But my moods ebb and flow. I understand that. I know that I'm not in a depression. I'm just going through a depressing time. And I know at some point I'll be out of it. And when that happens, I'll kickstart things and start going again. Having my son with me is good. My daughter, I have 2 daughters. One lives 2 hours from me. The other one's moving to Phoenix. I live in Oklahoma. And it's nice having family around. I can't imagine people who don't have kids. I just can't imagine being at my age and have nobody, no kids. I mean, I don't have a wife. I got a girlfriend. But even if you have a wife and you have no kids, at some point, one of you's gone, and the other one will be left alone with nobody to take care of. And I just can't imagine how people want that. Yeah, sure, the whole life you're carefree, but at the end of it, you're sitting in a nursing home in a hallway, and no one comes to visit you. That haunts me sometimes. But well, sorry if I ramble too long. I probably should delete this, but I'll post it anyway. Someone might be interested. Ramblings of a person in his late 50s going through stuff. Anyway, I just wanted to say I'm still around. I will get back to writing, but I think it might take a little bit, but not too. It shouldn't take too much longer. I'm feeling better than I did yesterday and better than the day before. I no longer dwell on things too much. The fact that I'm making this says I'm pulling out of it. Anyway, y'all take care, and I hope everyone's life is going as they hope, or at least going well. And y'all take care.